Hello and welcome to Uniko's 12 Days of Christmas Inspiration and Giveaways 2024 Day 9. It's Monday. The sun has actually come out now for a little bit. It's all a little bit calmer after the storm we had here over the weekend. And I thought I'd start the week off with some festive florals. And I've chosen Season of Beauty. It's one of our larger clear stamp sets, and it's designed to be a modern poinsettia, and even though the sentiments in this set are Christmas themed, I feel I've designed it in a way that the flower could be more than just Christmas. And it's got these two beautiful foliage stamps as well, and some accents that can be used with other Uniko stamp sets. For instance, for Christmas, they would combine lovely with winter foliage. And obviously, I think these flowers would look lovely with nature's treasures, and these foliage would work with any of Uniko's flowers really, from the modern ones to the more realistic drawn ones. Anyway, let's have a look at this card. So this card is what I've shared on the blog today. I fancied creating a frame to be sort of the basis and the focal point. So I used a rectangle die to die cut my frame from a piece of card the same size as my base layer. I then used the two sizes of foliage inside my stamping platform to stamp the detail. So I placed it inside my stamping platform and then literally just rotated round to get a nice sort of like balanced mirrored image stamping effect. I then stamped and die cut the flowers and the leaves, and I've tucked them in on the frame, this bottom one here, and then had this one raised a little bit higher and chose one of the sentiments and just added some bling. It took a while, but it was therapeutic to make, and I think it looks beautiful. For my card in the video today, I thought I would do something similar, using the florals as the main focus, but on a square card. We're going to keep it a little bit more clean and simple, and a little bit more graphic perhaps as well. We'll see how this one turns out. So I'm just popping a piece of cardstock, white cardstock, inside my stamping platform. I've chosen, it's cut to 12.5 by 12.5, and we're going to go ahead and just stamp. I'm gonna 2 seconds find the center of my card first, which I should have done. I was just placing it in there thinking maybe I should have found the center. I'm gonna stamp the flower 3 times. Sorry, it's 12 by 12, not 12.5. I do apologize. Now I've measured it. I am going to pop a little bit of temporary adhesive on as well, just to keep it in place in my stamping platform. Sometimes my magnets aren't quite strong enough. So I've marked the center, and I'm going to sort of overhang the flower just a little bit. I might push it in just a little bit more so you see more of the beautiful flower. And I'm going to start off by stamping this outline. So this is like a multi-layered stamp set. On my first card I used the solid part, but I thought I'll give this outline part a whirl on this card. And then I'm just gonna move the card up just make sure I've moved it up enough. Might need a little bit more, down a touch. Let's have a look. Yep, so I'm happy with that. I am going to just put a little mark on this stamping platform for where I've penciled, so when I come to doing my other layers I know where I've put the center of my card for this bottom layer. Like so. But I am going to have to move this for the top layer. I'm not super clever at working out where I need to place stamps to do all three. I should have perhaps started at the top and worked my way up, but I wanted to get the first flower stencil centered, so sometimes it's a little bit tricky. But as you can see, even I don't have a perfect system when it comes to making cards and working out the mathematics of everything, but it's all good fun. So my system might work, it might not work. So I'm just stamping these in black, and then we'll get to add in some colour. And I'm going to go slightly non-traditional, not completely, but just a little bit. But I love poinsettia flowers. I don't actually have one. I've had them in the past at Christmas, but I've never been able to keep the poinsettia alive longer. I'm not green fingered at all. Well, I'm not too bad outside. I am getting better with outdoor plants, but indoor plants I am not great. But I have managed to keep a few plants alive for the past couple of years, but they are ones that are supposed to be really easy to look after. One of them is a peace lily, which we have in our bathroom, and I've managed to keep that alive. And I have like a tropical, it's almost like a palm tree that's indoors, and I've managed to keep that alive as well, even though Callie, our little kitten, has is a bit of a tinker and decided she would attack that. Quite a few times she's done that. So I'm just placing one of the layers. So if you see, I'll bring this card back in. So the pink, this ballet slipper colour I've used as the solid, I've obviously replaced that with the outline stamp that I've just used there. You could layer both up if you wanted, use the solid and then the outline. So I'm going straight to this one where I've used the red, the poppy, and I'm going to stamp it in, I think I'm going to go for a pink. So my usual favourite of honeysuckle. And then I'll use poppy most likely for the detail part. So I'm using Concord and 9th inks, my current favourite. I tend to buy mine from Seven Hills Crafts. Highly recommend. They do a good range of Concord and 9th. Now we'll see if this works. I've wiped it off now. I believe it was about there. I might have to do it again. Just clean my stamp off. It's probably easier than working it out, because hey ho, I am just not in the mathematical brain mind today. So I'll have to push it back up a bit to do this bottom one. So yeah, I buy my inks and re-inkers, they're cardstock, and I do buy some of Concord and 9th's stamps as well. I do love playing with other brands when I have time, when I'm not doing stuff for Uniko. I just love how vibrant these colours are though. The inks are beautifully vibrant. So I'm just stamping the inside here. Now, the reason I'm using my stamping platform is mainly because they are more solid stamps, so I can repeat stamp if I don't get a perfect impression the first time. But it also helps a little bit with positioning of the sort of layering part of the stamp. I haven't brought a dry cloth in the studio with me today, so just making sure it is dry before I place my card back down again. So it just, even though the stamps are see-through, obviously the pigment of reds and pinks do sort of seep into the photopolymer a little bit, which can make it a little bit more tricky. But it just means, I definitely think a stamping platform just helps with ease of stamping sometimes, and definitely with the repeat stamping for more solid stamps. So I do tend to use mine quite a bit for that purpose. And then the next stamp that I'm going to use is this sort of outline layer, which just adds a little bit of detail to the flower. Oh, it's like perfect timing, isn't it? You probably might have heard that little sound. It's quite loud. That is Bonk the chicken. I must time it just right every time she's laid an egg. I've managed to get ink here on the card, but we will maybe try and cover that one. Now I'm going to do this detail with a stamp, so I don't have to keep moving it every 2 seconds. I'm just going to press that down. My black ink is, I was going to do cranberry, wasn't I? Not black. I'm jumping myself here. It's the chicken. She threw me. She's probably laid an egg. She's the only one laying at the minute. They tend to stop laying over the winter. But she is, and that is honeysuckle. Getting distracted. But yeah, she's still laying eggs for us. Not every day, more sort of every couple of days now. And this stamp just adds a tiny sort of little bit of detail inside the flowers. Doesn't have to be perfectly positioned. But as you can see, so this flower is quite a graphic floral design, but I have used it for other floral cards throughout the year. It does look beautiful in an array of colours, but just by switching the colours up you can make it festive. And there's the added detail. And then, like a lot of Uniko stamps, I do like these little sort of dot stamps, but this one's for the centre. And again, I'm just gonna use my little block I have here to stamp the centre. So if you see, I've just got a little smudge of I think it's like water and a little bit of colour. When I've been cleaning my stamps, I've obviously got a little bit on my hand or not dried properly, but we should be able to hide it with a sentiment or a little bit of bling. And I've just added, and then that makes the flowers look a little bit more floral and brings them to life a little bit. You could add some bling or some embossed sparkle to that. And I'm going to use this Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year sentiment, and I'm going to stamp it down towards the bottom of the card down here, and hopefully it'll cover my mistake a bit. I think for the last few videos I've had a little sort of blip in every card that I have had to cover. I must be on a blip streak at the minute, unfortunately. That's the beauty of doing videos, I suppose, isn't it? So I'm just eyeballing this. I could have used my stamping platform to position it perfectly, but I think that's turned out okay. Unfortunately, my smudge is right in the middle, but never mind. I was thinking about adding a bit of bling, but we'll see. So I went ahead and cut a little bit of bigger white cardstock, but I was just thinking that I've used honeysuckle. I'm not sure if I have got any. Oh, I have. Do we tie in the cranberry or the honeysuckle? I don't know if I've got cranberry. No, I'm all out of cranberry. So we will add a little bit of honeysuckle. So I'm just going to move that to one side for a second. And I'm feeling it needs just a little matte layer. Just to help it pop a little bit off the card, so it's not just pure white on white. I never get, this is a lovely paper trimmer, And even though it has the numbers, the measurements at the top, it's a little bit trickier to line up sometimes. So I always tend to do a little mark from the side of my paper pad just to make sure that I'm getting exactly the right size that I want. So I might trim that down a little bit further actually, 12.5, as I just want a little thin frame around the edge. Yes, it is a lovely paper trimmer, I have to say. And it's a perfect size just to have next to your desk to trim. So that's better. I just want a thin frame around the edge just to help so the design doesn't get lost on a white background. Now I'm just going to use some double-sided tape just to secure it. And I'm still debating, do I add some bling or not? So today's giveaway is the Season of Beauty stamp set. I don't have a question for you today. Oh, actually, yeah, maybe I do. So are you green fingered? Are you good with plants? Do you have festive plants? Are you a lover of the poinsettia at Christmas time? And do you have any tips of keeping them alive if you do? Or are they not? Well, surely they're supposed to be kept alive longer than Christmas. But yeah, so are you green fingered and do you like festive flowers? So that is the prize today. It's a beautiful set and I'm sure you'd have lots of fun with it, not just at Christmas but all year round. Hopefully I will do a feature where I show a card for every season using this set, because there is one sentiment in the set where it says may the beauty of the season bring you joy, and that could refer to any season really. It doesn't have to be Christmas. So yeah, I'll have to do a feature where I do a card for each season, just to show you how it looks in different seasonal colourways. Almost finished. It's been a really tough decision these past 9 days of what Uniko festive products or products that I, to use. I've tried to stick to ones that are currently still in stock, but with going nearly 13 years, it'll be 13 years in February, there's quite an array of Uniko festive products now, and it's been a real tough choice as to what to show you in videos. And some I've, especially over the weekend, I was inspired by other things that have made my choices, so yeah, hence why I've been a little bit behind on some days, because I've decided to change my choice, hopefully for the good. I hope you've enjoyed this series so far. We've still got a few days left, and there's still time as well for you to join in with the Christmas Linky party. That does, I think there's about 2.5 days left for you to link up your cards to that. And hopefully if you don't have any Uniko festive products, that I've shown like that background option, as there's ways around entering a card and making it a little bit more festive. So there's some beautiful projects already in and uploaded, so be sure to check them out if you haven't already. And that's my finished card. A little bit different. I could have gone in and added some foliage, but I think I was going for more the clean graphic look, that's enough on the card without going too over the top. So 2 completely different looks there, more traditional colours and a little bit non-traditional. Anyway, thank you for joining me again today. I'd be ever so grateful if you could like and subscribe and tell your friends about the Uniko channel and Uniko in general, and I'll see you again all tomorrow. Bye for now.